Jordan Raanan, NJ.com, covers the Giants. A lot of injury news with the Giants, and obviously this is a big game for both these teams. I think it's bigger for Philly, Jordan, because of their 0-2 division record already. What has been the theme or kind of the storylines in New York this week as these two teams really play for first place?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's that the Giants have 11 guys on their injury report today for practice. I mean, you can't have 11 guys sit out with injuries. You'll be at 50. You'll be under 50 players. So, they need to get some guys healthy right now, including Odell Beckham, who is the best offensive player on this team, the biggest playmaker on this team. They're definitely going to be without Prince tomorrow, so that's a big thing. That came out today for sure. That's going to be at least a 2 to 4 week thing. He is arguably their best defensive player this year. To be without him, that's a big loss for them. So, but aside from that, this game is sort of, like a bonus for the Giants right now. If they win this game, they're in the driver's seat big time. They're in 2 games ahead of the Eagles, plus they beat them head to head. And upcoming schedule for the Giants, at home against the Dallas Cowboys without Tony Romo. Likely, maybe, who knows with Des Bryant, but if he comes back, it's obviously not going to be, 100% the following week. Then they have New Orleans. Then they have Tampa Bay. So the schedule is favorable for the Giants after they somehow win this game 4-2 and have those 3 games coming up. Very good shape, and I think they'll be hard to beat in the NFC if they do win this game.
Yeah, and Prince Amukamara, 3-4 weeks, partial tear in his pectoral area, and that's an area where he and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie have been pretty solid, but the safety play has been pretty poor. But a lot of that is, I'm assuming, Jordan, you're there watching these games wondering, where the heck's the pass rush? Any signs of that pass rush turning it around?
No, I just don't see how that's possible. I mean, they just don't have the talent. They don't have the bodies to do it. The only way to do it is to basically scheme and trick the other team. I mean, if you look at their guys, look at the Giants' defensive numbers, and it's really a stark comparison. You have the number 2 run defense in the NFL. Number 1. It was number 1 last week. They're giving up less than, I think it's around 90 yards a game, less than 90 yards a game. And they have the 32nd ranked pass defense. So they kind of go hand in hand. They're playing a lineup with a bunch of guys that they know are quality run defenders, but they're not particularly dominant pass rushers. And, Devon Kennard, who is a good pass rushing linebacker, he was out last week. He's got a hamstring injury, so he's also, questionable whether he's going to play. And their defensive ends they don't have that pass rushing defensive end that's just going to get after the quarterback constantly. It's not. They don't have that kind of roster right now with JPC not here.
We're talking with Jordan Raanan, NJ.com, covers the Giants, and you mentioned Beckham did not practice yesterday, and questionable hamstring.
Today. They didn't practice yesterday. So
right, today. And, of course, they play Monday, so they didn't practice yesterday. But Ruben Randall, he's another guy who has been banged up with the hamstring. I guess he would probably be – he did practice today, so
limited.
So,
but he should be good to go. I'd be surprised if he's not ready.
I was going to say, if he's out and Beckham's limited, well, what's left for that team? We saw them late in that fourth quarter. The options were pretty limited. Who would be a guy that Eli could depend on?
Shane Vereen. I mean, there's nowhere to go. You saw the final drive of what they did. They went to the running back. They went to Shane Vereen. 3 catches, 52 yards on the final drive. The Larry Donnell touchdown reception to win the game, 12 yards. He's got to go other areas. If those 2 guys aren't 100% and aren't really going to produce, Dwayne Harris has been their slot guy. Has been able to produce a little bit more. I think he has 11 catches, 120-something yards these last 2 games. He's being asked to play a much bigger role. But besides that, I mean, rookie Jeremy Davis and Miles White, a guy they picked up off waivers, actually as a free agent. He's an undrafted free agent, was cut by the Packers. So they really, there's not a lot of playmakers on this offense. It's Odell Beckham and a bunch of guys, pretty much. So they're very, very Odell Beckham heavy, this offense, and they really, honestly, I don't know if they could survive without him.
Well, and on the flip side, they've been pretty good in stopping the run. The Eagles haven't run the ball a lick, until really last week. They finally got things going there. But how have the Giant defenders this week, what is their opinion of Sam Bradford?
they saw good things. They say Bradford last week. They said that Tom Coughlin had said, and this is kind of what's been echoed by his team, is he showed resiliency last week, which is kind of a nice way of saying, hey, he bounced back all right. They don't seem overly impressed with Sam Bradford. He's not a guy that seems to completely scare them in any way, shape, or form. But you know what? In order to beat this defense, Sam Bradford's going to have to play well. And you know better than I do. I mean, you watch even closer than I do. He hasn't been able to do that much this year. So there's going to be a lot on Sam Bradford's shoulders. That's the way the Giants are playing. You say their safeties haven't played well. Well, we kind of knew that they didn't have great safeties. They have a rookie and the guy that they picked up off the street in the middle of August. So what they've been doing is making sure they don't get beat deep, giving teams underneath passes and say, they're kind of taking the lesser of the two evils. They can stop the run, and with the talent they have on the rest of their defense, they're saying, okay, we can't really get after the passer. We're going to protect the deep end of the field, try to not let up those big plays. So it's going to be up to the Eagles and Sam Bradford to sort of pick them apart in the underneath in the middle areas of the field. And that's where the Giants are very susceptible. We've seen it early in the season. We saw Matt Ryan do it. We saw Tony Romo do it. And it's going to be up to Sam Bradford to do the same if the Eagles are going to win the game.
All right, Eagles-Giants Monday night here on 97.3 ESPN. A little update on the Giants. A lot of injuries on that side of things. Of course, a fluid situation just on Thursday. That game, extra day for them on Monday. Jordan Raanan, NJ.com, with a look at the New York Football Giants. Thanks, Jordan.
Anytime.